Hello, this is Oliver Lucanis from Below Water. Today we want to show you one of the mouth-brooding Geophagus species with their young. I think this is one of the most beautiful and peaceful eartheaters, and it's also very easy to breed. The middle and upper Orinoco is actually home to 5 Geophagus species: Abalios, Dicrososter, Teniopareus, Gottwaldi, and winemilleri, so it can also be a bit confusing to identify them. Basically, Geophagus winemilleri has a large spot on the side, a prominent black line on the cheek, 4 broad vertical bands, and a striped tail. Geophagus dicrososter has 7 vertical bands, and Geophagus gottwaldi has a spotted tail pattern, but both also have that short stripe on the cheek. Before it was named in 2004, it was actually referred to as Geophagus species striped tail. They are found in the upper and middle Rio Orinoco and Casiquiare and upper Rio Negro in a wide variety of habitats and get around 20 centimeters or 8 inches in size, like most Geophagus species. The males have slightly longer fins and a bit steeper head profile, but there is not a large difference between the sexes. To breed these fish, you will need a large enough tank to grow out about 5 adults. This is a 180-gallon or 700-liter aquarium with sand substrate, few rocks, and some driftwood. There are a few other fish in the aquarium so that the calm Geophagus are not disturbed by their tank mates. Basically, 3 hussar that eat their leftover food and a pseudacanthicus. There are now some young Meloplus asterias in the aquarium, but they will be removed later when the Geophagus start to breed. These adult wild fish start to pair up after about 3 weeks in the aquarium, and the pair now holds more than half of the aquarium as their territory. To lay their eggs, they like a flat rock, and I found it is better if the rock is slightly sloped. Besides that, it is better for photography. The pair will now spend several days cleaning the rock and removing the sand around it. Soon after, they will lay about 300 eggs on the rock. Spawning takes about 2 hours or so, depending on how much the fish are disturbed by their tank mates. For the next 3 days, the pair will fan the eggs and defend the territory. When the eggs start to hatch, both parents will pick up the larvae and start to mouth brood them. Out of this spawn, all but around 20 eggs hatched, and so both parents are swimming around, still defending the territory with the larvae in their mouth. The presence of too many fish is now a constant stress for the parents, because any of them would eat the young. So we decided to remove the Meloplus at this point, catching them at night to reduce the stress on the cichlids. Five days later, the larvae have developed further. They still have large yolk sacs and cannot swim, but they will jump around at this size. So the parents have made some shallow pits and now frequently drop them out and let them hop around the sand. This allows the parents to eat and also see if they can defend the ball of larvae in the place they are breeding. In the aquarium there's not so many choices, but I think in the river they would move a lot more, maybe changing the site several times a day. On day 10, the larvae are fully formed and starting to feed on their own. Both parents still pick them up in their mouth, but most of the time they are leading the cloud of fry around the tank now. Quite often they will pick up sand and debris and spit it into the cloud of young so they can feed on the tiny particles. They will also pick up any stragglers and spit them back into the ball of fry. If there is any threats or disturbance, they will quickly signal to the young and pick them up in their mouth. It can take 20 minutes or so until they deem it safe enough to let the young out again. The young now grow quickly, and if you wanted to raise these babies, now would be the time to remove most of them by catching one of the parents and taking them from his or her mouth. You could also remove all the other fish, so that there is less chance of them getting eaten. It is better not to remove all the young, so that parents can continue to raise some without the stress of losing all the young. Sometimes they will fight a lot if that happens. If you remove the babies, they will grow very quickly on crushed flakes and newly hatched brine shrimp. At this stage, the young are no longer in a tight ball and spend most of their time swimming around in the open water column. It'll last about 10 to 14 days. After this, they begin to take the body shape of the parents and start foraging more in the substrate. Their food consists of shrimp pellets, flakes, a bit of bloodworm and mysis, and the occasional earthworm. There's no food on weekends because, like most cichlids, you don't want to overfeed these fish, and they will generally do better when they are not fed every day. Temperature is 27 degrees Celsius or 80 Fahrenheit, with medium hard water and a pH of 7.3. This species is found all the way south in the upper Rio Negro and Rio Casiquiare, which have really soft and acidic water, but they are also found in the Orinoco, in the mainstream that has a pH closer to 7, and we found they breed just fine in our well water without modifying those parameters. We've extended this video with some minutes of the parents breeding if you would like to stay and watch. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel for more.